don't have. I got that. That's the only light in there. All I got.
This promo is going to be good. So we're here with Silhouette Jones.
I mean, I have a lamp, but I'd have to unplug it from my fucking bed.
I think you should do that. This is like you're hunting for swamp monsters. Over here, over here. The night was Friday the 13th. It was a full moon.
Podcast episode 113.
Ooh, 113. It's probably going to be listened to mostly on a Friday. Give me go. Oh, no. All right. Turn this game down.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I need lighting in here. I don't have lighting.
You haven't recorded during a game in a while.
Right?
Like word?
A word fam?
A word fam?
I mean, you know what we could do?
What's up?
Like, we could plan ahead for these in the future, and you could come here.
That is true.
We are in the same city now.
What would that do for video, though?
You know what, Steve? I don't really fucking know, man. You know?
All right.
What do you have for cable?
I think we have Time Warner.
Time Warner?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to fit into this show. So I'm confused. Like, you're doing Sunday to Thursday. Facebook Live?
Yep.
And then one podcast a week?
Yeah, so hold on.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
I lost you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
I'll talk to you about Section 10 stuff when we're not live because I don't fucking trust you to not be broadcasting.
It is private. This actually is private. The other ones I have accidentally kept on public.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
I can look at this private. You can't see that.
Fucking Tweedle toes over here.
I watched you guys recording and you were talking about things you shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
You really can't get better than that?
Better than what?
Lighting wise? You look like you're about to commit a crime.
Lights. There's no lights here. I only have one light above my bed. That's it.
Who do you live with?
Nobody.
You have a solo?
Yeah.
It's a big deal. I thought you were living with some Barstool guys.
No, fucking by myself. Doing it by myself.
As you would prefer. Fucking June Lee comes up to me today and he's like, yo, so he's the biggest like ask questions he already knows the answer to guy just to start conversation. Yeah. Like, yo, like, is Jared in New York? Like, yep, he's here.
He asked you that yesterday?
Today.
He knew the answer to that because he asked me to hang out with him last night.
He was like, well, again, he just asked the question he knew the answer to. I'm like, yep. He came in today. He's like, yeah, man, we were supposed to watch the game last night at Prof Tom's and it just like fell through. It was like, yeah, cool, man. All right.
Yeah, because maybe I like just moved here and I should probably unpack instead of go to a Red Sox bar.
I don't see you watching a game with June Lee, but I don't know.
I mean, I have.
I'm not a big June Lee guy.
Yeah, we know you're not, Steven. What are the topics?
I just sent him over. Give me a second, that dickhead.
Oh, God.
You see that question I dropped today, just to kind of let people know that it's gonna be late. I was so smooth about it.
No, I didn't see anything. I was fucking.
Oh, you were working?
I did Barstool Radio. I did mixtape. I did a test show.
I do want to talk about the Little League thing. That was hilarious. That you talked with KFC
yeah, it's
about.
a true story.
Of course it is.
That's a true story.
You would do that.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Oh, fuck that kid. Especially if you were that close to getting to the Little League World Series.
Yeah. Not the Little League World Series, just like the Saugus, whatever the fuck.
Would you have had a chance at the Little League World Series?
No. It was to go to the City Series for like the Saugus Little League Championship.
No, okay. Still. Championships. We're talking about trophies down the drain. You'll never get those back.
True. So true.
Kid should die. Kid should die for what he did. All right, we can bounce around. That doesn't need to be in order with this. Add whatever you want. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying, fam.
MLB standings. The Red Sox are
Game up.
59 and 49. And it is 113. But we already did Sox signatures this week, right? So they don't get another ad.
Nah, fuck them.
All right, so we need to, by the way, I need to forward you that email so that you can invoice SeatGeek.
Yeah. Money is needed.
Yeah.
We need to have a talk with Pete. That's going to go well.
For sure not.
A lot of people work that were like, Pete is unemployed, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why is he missing shows? Good question.
I don't know. Like,
question's spot on.
Yeah, like before it used to be that he was like doing work stuff, but I mean he's literally just as absent now as he was when he was working.
If not more. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's only gonna go against him in the court of SeatGeek.
The court of SeatGeek.
Like you should literally like go back and like hit him with like a statistic. Be like,
I'm gonna count
over the last 6 months. Yeah, be like over the last 6 months, you've been on 35% of the shows. Like, give me a real number, but like check.
Yeah. And she used to be the sweetest cat.
Hey, Casey McDonald, what's up, baby? I have Ness in here.
Yeah, same, kid. What do you think I'm watching? Good to have that back. All right. Do this fucking shit. Let's do this fucking shit up in this bitch, motherfucking. Third homer of the night for Paulie Goldschmidt. We should have said what team he's on.
Hey, Paulie Big Balls.
As good as he is, I bet you generic fans might not know him. Copy sucks.
Oh yeah, I gotta tell that story about the kid that I flipped out on in section 10.
Oh, you were serious about that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Eckersley said he won't talk to Price.
Yeah, I think so. I think I read that somewhere that he's not really gonna. Eckersley Price. Dennis Eckersley rejected meeting with David Price, won't change style. Eckersley, he spoke with Dan Shaughnessy of the Globe and revealed he is not planning to talk things out with David Price. So that's cool. Good stat 9. Good stat 9, kid.
Did you listen to it?
I got up to Brian Wilson, and it's good. I can definitely do the videos. That'll be fun. And yeah.
Yeah, we got like that kid Ozzy that does the Red Line Radio is going to be doing some stuff too, but the more the better.
Yeah, the better the better.
He's that.
Am I right?
That's Steve Flava. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little fucking spice. Fucking, Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. I like BR, but I'm ready to do stuff that I'm better at. I'm kind of done with that stuff. Let's do it, huh?
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Porcel was bad. I'm ready, kid.
He's not good.
A couple of New York cats just doing a podcast.
Hey,
couple New York boys.
Couple New York guys talking some Boston baseball. Hey.
Couple of New Yorkers talking some ball. Big city, bright lights, big titty.
Hey. Fucking concrete jungle, baby.
Welcome to New York. Hey.
Am I right?
Empire State Building and shit, right? Yeah, concrete. Yeah.
Hey, bada boom, baby. Big tits.
Big tits, taxis, horns, sirens. Am I right? Pizza. Hey, hot dog guy over here. Give me two. My man. My guy.
Hey, motherfucker. Give me a fucking one of them tasty ones.
Hey, is that your girl? Not any longer. She's mine now. Hey. Yo, you were eating wieners all the way to work?
Yeah, true story.
That was pretty good.
I was like, I've been eating terribly since I've been here because I haven't had time to just fucking stop and eat, and I don't know where to go to eat either. I haven't had dinner yet.
I never have time to get anything. I eat miserably.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Get used to that. All right.
What's up, and welcome back to the Section 10 podcast, episode 113, presented by Barstool Sports. It is the home of your 59-49 first place Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carabas, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Pete Blackburn, and he's missing the show again, even though he doesn't have any responsibilities and he doesn't have a job. So why isn't he on the show again? And you can't teach that. Bada boom. Realest guys in the room. Steve, how you doing?
What up? What up? Section 10 in the building.
In the mother fucking building. That is my new apartment in the Big Titty.
This is weird. This is weird.
It is weird. It's weird, but I will say it's a lot more comfortable than I thought it would be. Like I'm not sitting here being like I don't belong here. I'm not like freaking out. I'm not having second thoughts. I'm not like I need to get on the next train back to Boston. I do like obviously I'm going to miss, working with certain people, and you obviously miss your family and your friends, and that I will miss. But right now, I feel like I'm in a place that I belong. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to go from existing alone a lot to going from like working remote, up being in the same place all day, never actually leaving the house, and then coming here where it's like, yeah, I'm around people that are, we're all doing the same shit. Like we're all, trying to make content for Barstool. We're all, it's a big team environment, and I like that a lot.
The office vibe is very important. Having people around you that you can either jab, just create content with instead of needing to do it online. It's huge. That's very important. I think you'll benefit from that greatly. In person, you're always pretty quick pretty quick to react, pretty quick to poke back. So I think you'll be good with the new office jokes and the jabs, and you kind of handle that well on Twitter. So I think this fits you a lot more than what you were doing before. But it's got to still be strange though. You're leaving so many different responsibilities back home, your family, coming to the big titty, and that's still got to feel a little weird, no?
It does, but the fact that I'm not in fucking California, like I hop on a train and be back in Boston in a few hours, and the other thing too, like working behind the scenes, I'll let you know that we are working with the Sports Hub to I don't know if it's gonna be possible, but I know that we're trying to set up a line so that I can still do the baseball reporters with Maz, and it'll sound like I'm in studio with him. And I know that Comcast, I might still be able to do the baseball show. Obviously not the full hour and a half, but they might be able to video me in from the Barstool office. So on Sundays, I would do starting 9, the Facebook show, I think like around 6, and then I would do the baseball show from like 7 to 8, or at least that's what we're trying to do. So it's like, it's a good compromise. I definitely think I'm better off being in the office. We launched starting 9 today. Today is in Thursday. It's been a fucking crazy week. Obviously, I mean, it wasn't the best week to launch a podcast that the company wants to go to #1 on the first day, when I literally like moved my shit in yesterday and had to, like, I was here all day with the movers. And then the fucking cable people came to set up the internet and my cable. And then I had the show at 4, and I literally had to just fucking power walk my ass to the office, which is like a mile from here. And I hadn't eaten all day because I obviously don't have food here. And like I said on starting 9, I was like speed walking, and I fucking pounded hot dogs the whole way there. Like I had
mowing down wieners, wiener after wiener.
Yeah, wiener after wiener. Brick by brick, wiener after wiener. There was a hot dog cart on every corner. So I was like, I'll take a hot dog, please. And I would just like pound it, and then I'd see another one, be like, I'm still hungry. And then I'd get another hot dog, and I'd keep going for like another like 3 or 4 blocks. Be like, I can do one more. And I get another hot dog, and I keep going. It's fucking hot dogs all over this goddamn city.
Wieners over here. You're gonna get so fat.
Great.
I want to see Fat Jared. Fat Jared would be something that
it's not gonna happen. Like Fat Jared like would have happened like when I tore my wrist in February, and I haven't worked out since February.
Same. So I didn't tear my wrist, but same.
And then now that I have a mile walk to and from work, and I'm just gonna be sweating my balls off, like this is the most cardio I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, you're gonna sweat a lot. I mean, just walking to work, I'm dripping by the time I get to work, which is a great look, a great visual. But I mean, there's a lot of vendors, a lot of food around you, a lot of events that people go to, a lot of drinks, and then after that, you're getting food. It adds up. I would love to see Fat Jared. I think we would all enjoy that. But yeah, maybe you'll stay disciplined, get to the gym more often. I don't know, but I think we might see Fat Jared.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'm going to find a gym probably over the weekend. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to get back in the gym, feeling good about the wrist. And you're probably going to see fucking, Jack Jared. Like, he's coming back. And when he comes back, look out. Like, that's going to be... Kid's gonna be on the fucking Facebook show looking like goddamn John Cena doing a baseball podcast.
All right, as long as you guys are doing steroid testing. How was the first starting 9? I know it got off to what? It got to the top, right? The top of the charts.
#1, numero uno. Yep, we debuted at #1 in Sports and Rec, and then I think I haven't checked in a few hours, but we were #3 just overall.
Yeah, I saw that 3 overall, which is that's damn impressive.
It's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. That's the Barstool. That's the Barstool flexing right there. When they get behind something, it usually does well. So obviously, very appreciative and it's just good to be in a place where you have people that support what's going on there. It's like they pushed it to the moon before they probably even heard it. So it's always nice to be in a place where the higher ups trust what you're doing is going to be good. And the #1, I guess, compliment feedback that we got was that the chemistry was good. Everyone was like, yeah, it sounded like you guys were working together for years. So yeah, Dallas and I like we have a good fucking time on that show. So if you're listening to this right now, I got a few tweets from people being like, yeah, I'm a Dodgers fan and I listen to Section 10. I'm an Orioles fan. I listen to Section 10. I tried out Starting 9. It is, it's going to be fun. Like, it's going to be like, for me to be able to branch out and talk about baseball teams that aren't just the Red Sox. And I got like a few other tweets like, you're a fucking sellout, dude. I'm not going to, like, you lost your shine because you're just Sox anymore. It's like, motherfucker, I've been covering all of MLB for over a year. Like, I've been doing that since the beginning of last season. It's just a different, like, vertical. Like, I'm doing it on a podcast instead of the blog. Like, what the fuck difference does it make? And I'm a baseball fan. Like, I can still be a Red Sox fan and appreciate like players and other teams.
I know we've talked about it, but I've seen a lot of comments about like, oh no, Jared's a sellout. He went to New York. He's not, he's not a Boston guy. He's not one of us anymore. I don't know. I don't want to dive too far into that, but it's just like, you can cover all these teams from anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. The coverage can still be good. And I think Starting 9 is going to blow up. I mean, it's already, climbing the charts. So you got Starting 9, you got Section 10. I mean, is like Loge 11 coming up or Suite 11?
Loge 11, we're going to do like Field Box 11 is going to be next.
And then 12, 12 would be your thing. Yeah.
Can't wait to have a something 12 show.
Yeah. Private Box 12.
Yeah. So it's been fun. It's been fun. And, I think most of the people saying like, you sold out. I think most of that is just ball busting. It's giving me shit, which is like, but there are a couple people that are saying that, which just doesn't make sense. If you're a trader and like, I'm not a fucking professional athlete, dude. Like, I'm just trying to get by in life. And when I get offered a promotion and a chance to advance myself in my career, I should probably take it. I'm not just gonna fucking like, no, I'm good. Just good being mediocre.
Dude, imagine telling Erica, like, nah, Boston. I am not leaving this place. I got Boston pride, Boston strong, motherfucker.
Well, I mean, I did do that for a while.
Yeah, but you had a bunch of stuff going on. It's not like...
But it wasn't even that. It was, the offer to come to New York was on the table for a long time before I accepted it. It was just I needed something more than just what I was already doing to go there. Like, I wasn't going to go to New York just to be in the office and blog and do what I was already doing in Boston and, like, lose TV, lose radio, because I wanted to get better at those things. Like, I get better from the reps. So I wanted to work with guys like Maz and Merloni and Felger. Like, you get better from working with those guys and they rub off on you and you pick up little things. So I just wasn't ready to get called up. Basically, I was like, I know that I'm going to get better by staying in Boston, working with these guys. And it's not like I felt like, oh, I'm ready. I'm fucking perfect. Like, I'm going to New York now. The big factor was that, all right, we're giving you Starting 9. Like, that's your show. And it's going to be better if you're in New York to do it. And like I said, I wasn't just going to uproot my life and go to New York for no reason. I wasn't just going to be like, yeah, I'll give up TV and radio and I'll just stick in the office and blog. So now that I have this and Section 10, which from what I've heard, there are bigger plans for Section 10. So for everyone that's like, oh, Starting 9, like that's going to be his new baby and he's just going to pay attention to Starting 9 and like he's just going to abandon Section 10 now, you shut the fuck up. Because guess what? I'm never leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. People that, anytime someone brings up Section 10 to me, or anytime someone's talking about like, oh, like, your connection with Jared and like, what the fuck about Pete, it gets me going. Starting 9 is like, it's going to be great. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to grow. It's like a penis. It's going to grow like a penis. Like an erect dick. Yeah. But Section 10 is our baby that is just never, like, this baby is going to grow up to be fucking Noma. All right. So don't think that Section 10 is ever getting put to the side. That is not the case. Just think of it as, David Grohl. He's in the Foo Fighters. He's in Nirvana. He's in Queens of Stone Age. He's all over the place. You can have side projects. And they can all do really well. But that doesn't mean that you focus less energy to one because you're in another. My goal out here, like everyone's like, oh, dude, you're going to crush it in New York. Like you're going to fucking, there's so many girls out there, dude, and you're just going to love the nightlife. I'm not here for that. I'm here for one reason. That's to fuck shit up. That's to go make the best baseball podcast that we can absolutely make for Barstool. That's to elevate Section 10 because of it. That's to have a fucking phenomenal Facebook show for Starting Nine. And that's to do even, more blogging for the Barstool baseball page. That's why I'm here.
Everyone that mentions the females, it's like, yeah, that's great. Ladies, how you doing? Anyone listening, sup? But the work never ends. Like work, there is no time where I'm not working on something.
No.
And I know you're the same. Like the clock is always fucking going. There is always something happening. And naturally, you got to give things up. You can't go out that much. Went out last night, got drunk off of like 5 beers because I hadn't drank in a little while. You got to work your ass off to get where you want to go. And if you want to go out and party, I mean, it's great. It's kind of like an athlete. You can come to New York and you can do like the Miami thing. You could do LA, but you can get lost in the sauce, as the kids say, as Johnny Manziel would say. You can get lost in the sauce. You can get lost in the sauce very easily in this city. I've seen it happen to a lot of people. And I knew when you came here, you'd be fine because you have the right work ethic. But there's a lot to get used to. Like, what's your first reaction to the office?
I mean, it definitely helps that I've been there to visit several times. So there was no, and especially I'd been there a lot leading up to the move. Like I had been there, I don't know, maybe 4 times in about 2 or 3 weeks leading up to being there on like an everyday basis. So it almost felt like I was like easing myself in. And so like the adjustment to the office is whatever. I just don't have a desk. So I guess like Coley moved into Erica's office. So that desk was open. And then Francis was like claiming it. And I could have made a stink about it because I mean, I've been here for fucking 3 years. Like I could obviously be like, that's my desk, but I didn't because I'm not gonna. It's not a good idea to just introduce yourself to the office and be like, I'm taking this fucking desk, pal.
This is my desk, bitch.
This desk is my fucking desk. Especially because the way that it's set up in the office is like Big Cats with PFT and Riggs is with Trent and who am I missing?
Where's Nate?
Nate is across from Riggs. Yeah, so I mean, like, the people that do podcasts together or sit together. So I think it makes way more sense for me to have a desk that's kind of on the other side of the room. Because I can't fucking focus without complete silence. Like I can't write. So I'm definitely gonna have to get into a routine where I wake up in the morning and I write my Red Sox blog here at my place at my desk. And then go to the office where it's just fucking chaos. Cause like I can throw together like the top story blogs, whatever. Like that's not a big deal. I like to focus on the Red Sox ones. But I'm going to probably get a desk on the other side of the office with Justin Havens, who is the producer of Starting Nine, both the Facebook show and the podcast. He's going to be doing like he was on the podcast. We didn't like do a great job of saying, hey, this is Justin Havens. He's
started talking.
Yeah. He just like that's my bad. I forgot. But yeah, so I'm excited about that because he's fucking brilliant. And it's going to be great to have someone to talk to that just knows his shit and is like just as passionate about the project that we're working on as I am. And, I told you, my friends that I lived with and Bill Ricca are not baseball fans, and they're not Barstool fans either. So I'd come upstairs and I'd be like, "Yep, how was your day? Let's just fucking grill some steaks. Let's not try to pretend that we're interested in each other's
We don't
days.
give a shit about our days.
Like let's fucking throw some steaks on the grill. Let's have some cigars and let the boys be boys." That was my relationship with all of them. But this is different. Like this is like you feed off each other's passion, and I fucking love that. Where it's like, we're all on the same team. We all want to fucking crush this. We all want the #1 spot, and we're all really good at what we do. So let's fucking show that to whoever's listening and to the people upstairs that make all the decisions around here.
The show's going to kill it. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I'll have a slight hand in it, as would probably be expected. But yeah, I think you guys are going to do great. The content's going to be great. So there's no reason why it wouldn't succeed, and it's already off to a hot start. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be good. So check it out on iTunes, Starting Nine. But before I came to New York, I haven't even told you this story yet. I kind of prefaced it by like telling you the gist
I like
of
that I don't
happened.
know. I like that I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what happened. All right, so I left for New York on Tuesday morning, And Monday night was my last night in Boston, and I went to Fenway Park with my dad. And I mean, I had been on edge all fucking day because it was like the final of my goodbyes to everyone. And like, I had already said goodbye to like my grandmother earlier that day, and she was crying. And like I said bye to my mom, she was crying. And then I go to Fenway with my dad, which is like, you know, that's like how my love for baseball was born, was like in those seats in Section 10, like my dad taking me to Fenway in 1998. And I've had the same seats ever since. And it was like, it's not like a final chapter. Like I'll be back. Like I'm still going to keep the season tickets. But it was just like, it was a holy shit moment. Like, this is where it all started. And tomorrow I'm getting on a train and going to New York. Like I'm fucking moving to New York for my job. And it's because of the love and passion for baseball that was born right here where I'm sitting. So yeah, I was at the game with my dad. And when we got to the seats, we got there late. Why are we late? Because I was waiting for the fucking movers and Bill Ricca to pack all the shit in the truck, and I couldn't leave until they left. So I got there in like the 4th or the 5th inning, and I shimmied down to my seats, and like, you know, there was the 2 kids sitting directly behind me, Section 10 guys. Like they bought tickets in Section 10 just because of the podcast. And then the row behind them, there was a kid and his girlfriend, Section 10 fans. And then the row behind them, there was like 4 dudes. And when we got to the seats, like I thought that they were like Section 10 fans too, because they were like, yeah, Carabas, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, what's going on? Hi, nice to meet you guys. So I sit down, and like, there was this one kid that was like very clearly drunk. And like, I'll entertain drunk people. Like, you've seen me do this all the time. Like, go out to the fucking bar. There's always like the drunk dude that's like hanging on you that just wants to like talk baseball. And I'll do that. Like, I don't care if you're like fucking blackout drunk. Like, I'm not going to like be like, yeah, fuck you, buddy. Bye. Like, I'll talk to you. So like, he's like talking to me. I'm like, all right. And then like, obviously you hope that they pick up on social cues and like body language. I'm just trying to watch the game. So then he keeps trying to talk to me, and he's like, dude, I just tweeted you. Throw me a retweet. I just tweeted at you. And and then the other thing, and then he goes, hey, Carabas, he's like, my buddy says your tweets suck. And I turn around and I was like, cool. Like, I was like, great, awesome, thank you.
Sweet, man, that really got me. Yeah,
I was like, awesome. So then like later in the game, like my row started to clear out. My dad like moved down a seat, so there's a seat in between me and him. And he's like, hey, Carabas, is that seat open? Can I come down there and sit with you? And I was like, no. I was like, it's taken. So then he starts like chirping me even more, and he like, whenever something would happen in the game, like I think like Bogarts got a base hit, he's like, yeah, why don't you tweet about that? And then someone else got a base hit. He's like, hey, why don't you tweet about that, huh? And then he started to like, and I didn't turn around. I was ignoring him. And then he started to like talk shit, but I wasn't supposed to hear it. Like I knew his voice. So like my ears perked up when I could hear him talking. So like talking shit. And I turned around, I just looked at him. I was like, what the fuck's your problem? And he was like, what? I was like, what the fuck is your problem? And he's like, nothing, dude. Like I tweeted you and like you didn't answer it. Like that's messed up. And I was like, I'm trying to watch the fucking game. And he was like, yeah, but like I see you like answering other people. And I was like, yeah, like I get like a lot of tweets, and like in between innings, I'll check my phone, and whatever I see, and like I didn't see your tweet. He was like, yeah, okay, whatever, fucking big shot, blah, blah. And I was like, shut the fuck up. And I just snapped on him. I was like, shut your fucking mouth. And he was like, whoa, like, what's your problem? And I was like, this is my last fucking night in Boston. I'm here with my dad. I'm trying to enjoy the game, and you're fucking chirping me for like 2 hours. I was like, shut your fucking mouth. And then he just stopped talking. And then I turned back around, and like the kids that like were sitting directly behind me, they're like, yeah, like, let's play with the bathroom. So then, so I turned back around. I'm watching the game. And like, obviously I'm like fired up. Like I'm just fucking ready to go at this point. And then like, he like calls down to me. He's like, I just want to say I'm sorry. And I was like, oh no, before that, he goes, when I told him to shut his fucking mouth, he was like, yeah, well, I'm going away for boot camp. Like, I'm going into the Marines. And I was like, okay, great. So, like, you're not a Marine, one. And B, even if you were, that doesn't give you a free pass to be a fucking asshole. I was like, they're going to teach you some respect at Parris Island, which obviously you don't have. And he didn't have to say anything after that. So then, like I said, I fucking turned back around. He calls me down and he's like, I just want to say I'm sorry. And I was like, no, you're not. Like, you're just like, you got bitched out in front of your friends. And like, you just have to like fucking say that now. He's like, no, like, I'm drunk and it's my birthday. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I don't give a fuck about your birthday.
I wouldn't want to talk to him at that point. Just stop.
So then he, like, afterwards, he asked me for a picture. And I was like, sure, I'll take a picture with you. Sure, no problem. So then he takes the picture and like his brother, I guess, tweeted at me the next day. And he made the caption, I made Jared from Barstool my bitch.
Oh my God. That is ridiculous.
Yep.
That is ridiculous.
What a fucking asshole that kid is. But yeah,
he's probably listening right now too, thinking he's like a hot shot.
If you're listening right now, suck my fucking dick. Suck my fucking dick, pal. You fucking loser. Like, who does that? Like,
in Section 10, no less. You're in the home of the show. Come on now.
What if, like, and I kept my composure for as long as I could. And I honestly, if it wasn't my last night in Boston, I wouldn't have said shit. Like, I would have just kept ignoring him. But I was just like, dude, really? Like, this is how I'm going to have like my last night, like with my dad. And you're trying to chirp me, and be a tough guy sitting 3 rows back. And again, he didn't have shit to say when I turned around and looked him in the eyes and was like, shut your fucking mouth. And
how many people saw this, by the way? How many people were like observing this battle?
Like the whole section at that point. Cause I wasn't like, shut your fucking mouth, pal. I was like, shut your fucking mouth. Like everyone's like, wait, is he kidding? Cause like, I was like, you know, like when he was chirping me, I was like laughing and like, we were giving each other shit for like a little bit. So I don't know if they thought I was like joking at first, but after a while, like after about like 3 or 4 seconds, people knew like, oh, he's serious. Like, this is not a joke, not a drill.
All right, so where are we putting this guy?
What's his name? Oh, let me see. Brian. It looks like his name is Brian. Hey, Brian, if you're listening to this right now, you fucking spineless pussy. I got a fucking invitation to send you. A little invitation. I don't know your address. Maybe you reach out. I mean, you obviously know my name, so you can send it in the DMs. Give me your address. It's kind of like an informal thing. I was wondering if you might be interested in. It's not like a round trip. It's more of like a one-way ticket. Get the fucking bathroom, pal. You fucking
bathroom,
clown,
bro. Get the bathroom, you piece of shit.
Fucking clown. Telling me. What a fucking asshole.
I can tell it's been building too. You were like, oh, and I got a story about this guy in Section 10.
Well, like, I completely. Okay, I mean, really it's Thursday. It's Thursday, and that was Monday night. So it's been like a whole week, and I honestly forgot about it. We didn't do a podcast. Did we do a podcast? Yeah, we did do a podcast after that.
Yeah, you just forgot to mention it.
Yeah, I had already forgotten it. But it just pissed me off, and I was like,
So anyway, I got a question for you. One, Jared Carabas. We had potentially, and we've watched way too many Red Sox games, probably invested way too many hours in this team. I cannot remember, for the life of me, I can't remember a regular season game that I got more into than that game the other night with Chris Sale on the bump. That was literally everything happened in that game. You had 2 aces get rocked in the first couple of innings. You had probably the best catch of the that is the best catch of the year. I haven't seen anything close to that. Eduardo Nunez.
Wait, can we hold on? Time out. I have an issue with that being a catch.
I do too. I got to finish my monologue. Eduardo Nunez continues to be Babe Ruth. Like, this guy is probably the best player in Red Sox history.
Do you have a nickname for Eduardo Nunez yet?
Best player in Red Sox history. I don't have a nickname for him. You would probably be the guy to come up with one. and you had both closers blow a save. Like, what the people want us to have a Nunez thing because they want that on a Section 10 shirt that they can buy. But dude, it was like literally everything happened in that game. I was on the edge of my seat for like the last 5 innings, which is insane. That does not happen in the regular season. It was just a different vibe, and everything happened. And then Christian Vazquez, it's a walk-off homer. David Price then gets hit by the Gatorade and has the bitchiest response I've ever seen.
No.
Okay,
Fake news.
Okay. I know it's very cold. I get that. Also, people aren't really acknowledging that the reason he was that pissed off is that he was just he's a big, actually for a guy that we don't love and the fans don't love, he's a big handshake guy, and he seems pretty close with the players and with his teammates.
Yes.
And he was about to go up for like a handshake with Vazquez that they've clearly had for a while. And so when you're about to do a handshake with your boy and somebody throws water or Gatorade on you, I would be pretty pissed too. So it wasn't the bitchiest reaction of all time, but it was a hilarious clip.
Yeah. And with the whole game, it was statistically Chris Sale's worst start of the year. It was Carlos Carrasco's second worst start of the year. These are both like aces, like legitimate aces. And you had Mitch Moreland hit a home run to make it 5-3, and he hadn't hit a home run in like over a month. You had Addison Reed make his Red Sox debut and give up a cock rocket over the bullpen. He gives up a
bomb. I forgot about that.
Yep, Addison Reed makes his debut and gives up a fucking absolute piss missile.
On that real quick, like the fact that it was forgotten about that Addison Reed, the reliever that you needed, comes to the Red Sox. This is the savior of the bullpen.
Here we go.
He gives up a bomb. He gives up a moon bomb in his first appearance, and I had totally forgotten about it. That shows you how crazy the game was.
Yeah, it was like, wow, finally, after 3 tries, Carson Smith goes down. Tyler Thornburg doesn't even fucking pitch an inning. We got him. We got Addison Reed. Here he is. Pew!
I think a fan died. That thing was coming in at like 200 miles per hour off the bat. So
not the best look for Addison Reed in his Red Sox debut. But then you had Craig Kimbrell come out, and so I looked at it, and I was because I had a suspicion, because I remember like Kendry Morales in Toronto. I remember Matt Holliday at Fenway, and then there was one other one. I think it was the one in Oakland, maybe. No. Did he? No, he didn't actually blow that one. Did he blow that?
Jackie robbed the homer, so he didn't.
There was another one though. Houston, maybe. He blew some save. There was 4. He's blown 4 saves this year, and they've all been on home runs. So to me, all that says is that guys are just going up there, closing their eyes, swinging as hard as they fucking can, and sometimes you run into one, sometimes you don't. And with Kimbrell, that has to be the strategy, because you're not going up there and like looking for a fastball in a certain spot and like trying to slice it down. Like no one strings together comebacks against Kimbrell. It's either you hit a home run to tie it or you don't.
And you use his gas to propel that thing over the fence. That's basically you're using that as leverage, and then maybe you hit a home run, maybe a strikeout.
Yep. So Kimbrell blows the save, which. Just to have a Kimbrell blown save and a Chris Sale 7 earned run start in the same night, pretty preposterous. And Addison Reed making his debut, giving up a bomb. Mitch Moreland hitting a 3-run home run, who hadn't hit a home run in forever, over a month. And then you make it to the bottom of the 9th. Christian Vazquez comes to the plate. Do you know how many career home runs he had at that point?
Oh, God. I can remember about 2 on hand, maybe 5.
3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it might have been 4. Was it? I'm pretty sure it's 3. I think he hit his 4th. Like the walk-off home run was his 4th career home run since like 2014.
And they see like the Betances one was huge too. So he had that one, and then now he has
that one went to the moon. And like when he hits them, they're bombs.
They're moon bombs. Yeah.
Yes. And I haven't gone back and listened to it, but I was recording from the top rope when he hit it. And I was like, yeah, so like John Cena, and that could go. It's good. Like, I just like, I need to go back and listen to it, because
I would love for the non-baseball people. Are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, me and Robbie Fox. It was like 11:30 at night, and I was getting my movers coming to my place on Wednesday morning. So I was like, all right, we got to watch SmackDown from 8 to 10. So I was at the office from like all fucking day, 8 to 10 watching SmackDown, and we start recording from the top rope right after SmackDown ended, and then that was when Vasquez hit the home run. So I had like the game set up on my desk. And I was like, that could like talking about John Cena, and then I see him hit it out of the corner of my eye. Like knowing that it's Vasquez, I was like, it's probably a fly out. Like it could go off the wall. It's like obviously not going to be a walk off. And I was like, that's carrying. That is fucking carrying. That might actually fucking go.
Dude, and I was watching on MLB Network. Bob Costas had a terrible call. And I think he's still pretty good. I think Bob Costas still has his fastball. But off the bat, he was like, swing, and that's a pop-up to center. It's like a 2-second pause. That might go. That's a home run. That's a walk-off home run. Because like right off the bat, I'm like, he got that. Like second he hits that ball, like that thing is going a good ways. It kind of reminded me of the Hanley walk-off against New York last year.
Yeah. Same spot, same like sort of like pose after too.
Yeah, where it was just like, I know I got it. And that was another great part about Hanley's catch getting robbed. Off the bat, he was like running down the first base line with the bat in his hand. He knew he had it. And the second the guy catches it, he had the most shocked face I've ever seen. But that game had everything, man.
The catch, like, why is that a catch? If you go over the fence with the ball, like that's a home run. You have to catch it and bring it back. Like
a lot of people are tweeting that.
Like, yeah, but if you think about it, whenever a guy robs a home run, what do the broadcasters say? Oh, and he brought one back, and he stole one. They say he brought it back. Jackson did not bring it back. He went with it over the fence. That's a home run.
For the sole purpose of I want the potential to have a catch like that. I want the potential for that catch to happen, so I'm totally fine with that being a catch. Because we're going to be talking about that catch probably forever. I don't think I'm going to forget that one. Diving into the bullpen, he timed it perfectly. I've never seen that one really work out. We've seen a couple of bullpen catches at Fenway. Mookie had one where he actually held onto the ball and came back to end a Rich Hill win. But I want the potential for that catch to count, so I'm fine with it being illegal. Because that was awesome, man. Just as a baseball moment, that was so cool.
And I think that it sort of ties everything together there too, with it being like this fucking like shit happened in that game that you literally will not see before it happened or after it happened. Like at least this year, a catch like that. Fucking Christian Vasquez hitting a walk-off home run or just a home run in general. Chris Sale being that bad, and basically Mitch Moreland hitting home run.
And the David Price reaction was perfect. Our boy Stevie D, by the way, shout out Stevie D.
I need to hold on. I need. Yeah, he ate shit on that one. He ate some shit.
But he got cornered, man. Like you got to watch out for the camera guy if you're the photo guy. Like you got to watch out for the video guy if you're the photo guy, as weird as that sounds. Like if you just have a camera and the other guy has a huge video camera that he's following the guy that hit the walk-off with, you got to give him space. You got to let Stevie D roam.
Like as we're recording during the game, and as I just said, like Mitch Moreland hitting a home run is a rare occurrence. He just put one off the top of the center field fence that missed being a home run by like maybe a foot and a half.
Yeah, we haven't recorded during a game in a while. It's
like a fan reached over and touched it. He's definitely getting the boot right now. Why do people do that? Like, I understand it's like a natural reaction.
No,
to
it shouldn't be. If you're in the front row, wake up. Like, don't do that.
If you're in the front row, you like I wouldn't reach over the wall. Like you wait for like no one's gonna like climb over you and be able to catch it. Like if you're in the front row, you just guide it into you from behind the wall.
I think the worst ones are when you're down the first or third base line and you've seen this like it's a ground ball that is inside the bag, a fair ball, and you've been watching it from the bat to you, and yet you still think you're going to reach down and pick it up. Those people should be not just booted, but like banned from the park. Like, get out of here. How do you not know to leave that thing? So, Stevie D, though. Shout out Stevie D. Stevie D deserves, and they talked about it on Nesson afterwards with our boy Pellerin.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that was just great. Like, right when it happened, I was like, oh shit, that's Stevie. Like, I knew right when he went down. I was like, no. But that was great, man. That was a good moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to defend David Price here. Big shocker.
Yeah. Didn't see that
fucking
coming.
David Price butt boy, as Dave Portnoy likes to say. David Price didn't like react to that as like, oh no, like I'm so upset about this, and now I'm gonna be like a little puss bag. Like, no, the video was manipulated.
It was.
So that people were tweeting just that little clip or just the video. I mean, oh, this picture says 1,000 words. This fucking asshole, like it's a walk-off home run celebration, and this motherfucking piece of shit can't even enjoy a happy moment because he's so miserable and he hates Boston. No, literally right after he made that face, he was like laughing and smiling. Like,
I've watched the tape a lot. I've probably watched the video about like 100 times. I honestly think the way David Price thinks, he's aware of literally everything he does. I think when he got hit with the water, he had the piss reaction. And I think in that split second, it hit him. Wait a second. This will probably blow up if I stay upset. So I'm going to kind of laugh it off. Because he kind of, I don't know if that laugh afterwards really seemed genuine. I think he faked that laugh so that people like you would say, no, you only caught the 2-second clip where he was upset. I think he was really pissed that he got hit by the water.
That's a hot take, Steve.
It's next level, but dude, I've watched it many a time, and I think he had that laugh to counter the bitch face that he did 2 seconds before the laugh.
But like, think about it. If put yourself in that situation, right? Because it was from behind him. And when they do the post-game interviews, they can see the fans going like, oh my God. Like they know that's coming, so they can like wait for it. If you genuinely don't know that an ice bath is coming, you're going to react like, oh, what the fuck? Like that's human nature. So it's not to say, like, if anyone in that situation, like, look at the ice bucket challenge. How many people just did that? And we're like, fuck, everybody. Everybody did that. But David Price doesn't. He's a fucking asshole that hates Boston and like he hates puppies and shit.
Yeah,
like
I do like the narrative that happened like right after. Here he is, the biggest dickhead in the city. He's back at it again.
That's literally what happened. And people weren't even joking about it. It wasn't even someone trying to.
The timing's perfect with all this X stuff going on. It's like, well, just put this on the list.
I know the timing is perfect, and I think that like I thought people were joking, but they were actually serious. They're like, look at this motherfucking piece of shit. Can't even take an ice bath and a walk-off home run celebration without being fucking miserable. He's ruining the baseball season. He's ruining my summer. It's the boys of summer, and he's not one of the boys. This is just very upsetting. This David Price, he needs to go. They need to trade him for a bag of balls. And that'll make the Red Sox better because they'll be removing the bad seed. He's a bad seed, and he's rubbing off on all the young kids in the clubhouse and making them into little assholes too.
You have the voice of someone that's like sitting in a dark room just like talking to themselves, which you actually are, which is pretty fitting.
I don't.
But yeah, you need lights, man.
So hold on? Can I go off on a tangent really quick?
Make it fast.
Okay. When I moved in, I don't have a toilet seat. My shower curtain will not stay on the wall. I have an entire wall here of all windows, and I don't have a curtain to cover them. So like the people facing the apartment building right across from me can just see into my building at all times. And I don't have any real lighting here. I have a lighting above my bed, and there's no other lights in here. So I need help. And I don't have any food here. I don't have food, and I don't have water.
You need a nanny? You think you need a nanny. That's kind of what it sounds like.
No, I need a lot of things, Steve.
I think Dallas Braden hit the nail on the head. Like, you need someone to take care of you. I think like you have all like the workday stuff down, so you can bring home the cheddar. You can bring home the dough. But when it comes to like life skills and like real things that people have to do to survive, I don't think you're great at a lot of them, and you really could use someone to do them for you.
I just don't have time to do those things. Like, I don't have time to just go down to fucking Bed Bath & Beyond and pick out curtains and a fucking lamp and a toilet seat and a shower curtain that fucking works.
You need a nanny for that. Hashtag nanny for Jared. If there's any nannies that listen to this podcast and you live near New York or you're thinking of moving, Jared lives by himself. He can probably give you shelter, and in return, you just got to take care of him. Nanny for Jared.
I would accept that. I would definitely
think about it
because I can't cook. That's probably the biggest one. That's the biggest one. Can't cook.
Since we're in tangent mode, I want to talk about my favorite baseball player, Marcus Stroman. I love him so much.
Boy.
This little motherfucker. There's something that he does now every week that drives me nuts. So he's playing the White Sox. Tim Anderson, lesser known player. I believe calls time when Stroman's in a weird windup. Stroman loves doing all these funky windups. He loves mixing it up, trying to be different. And I think Anderson called time when he was about to start his windup, and that naturally pisses Marcus off because there's literally nothing that you can do that won't piss him off. And I think
every time you say Marcus, I think of Bad Boys.
Marcus Stroman. So next pitch or the pitch after that, he strikes out Anderson, kind of looks at him, probably says some shit. And if I'm Tim Anderson, I wouldn't like that either. I would be pissed off by that as well. And Anderson's quote after the game is perfect. He goes, yeah. He's going to try to throw me off, so why not step out and try to throw him off? It was one of those things I stepped out, and he just complains and cries like he always does. That's what it led to. And I was like, yes, thank you. He's a little crying bitch. I hate Marcus Stroman. What?
Did you see Stroman talk after that game?
Yeah.
He was literally in tears.
He was. And
he sounded like he was actually crying, talking about it.
His hat said wasted tears, which I'm sure he strategically wore to kind of backfire at Anderson. A lady, shout out to the reporter, that was like, Marcus, what's the big deal? Like, why? I don't get why this is a big deal. Like, why were you jawing with Anderson? I don't understand. And he just gives her this like death stare and then just says no comment. He's such a fucking drama queen. I have no time for Marcus Stroman. He's a bitch. He showboats. He tries too hard to do the make baseball fun again stuff. He's always mocking everybody, yelling when he's going off the mound. Marcus Stroman sucks.
I like that, though.
No, I don't. Like it doesn't seem genuine. Some guys, it seems natural.
I don't.
I do not like when he does that. It just doesn't feel right. It's like he's trying to be the make baseball fun again guy instead of having that. Like when Kimbrel has a little fist bump, it's not showing anybody up. It's pretty quick. And it's just like, that's what all my energy is going into. He's like nodding his head up and down and barking while he's walking into the dugout. Like, get the fuck out of here. So for Tim Anderson to say he cries like he always does, shout out to that guy. I am a big fan of one Tim Anderson.
Okay, that's fair. I'm never going to discourage a player for showing passion during the game. I'm not going to do it. But I just think it's the comments that I don't like about Stroman. Like I enjoy his passion in between the lines, but it's the comments. Those are what really irritate me the most about Stroman, because he's one of those guys that at the beginning of the year, I think he said the Blue Jays have the best rotation in baseball.
Which is hilarious.
Yep. He said that they have the best rotation in baseball. And not that this is on Stroman, it's more of just a broad statement about the Blue Jays in general. But last year when they had like the posters hanging up in their clubhouse of like the faces of reporters and journalists that they are instructing the team not to speak to.
I thought there was a point after that, or a line after that. Line?
That's the whole whininess of it. Like you're literally instructing the players in your clubhouse that they're writers who you should not talk to because they said mean and critical yet true things about us as a baseball team.
That's exactly what Stroman did too. I think he looked up to see who asked him that question and then took a mental note of like, well, I'm not talking to her the rest of the year. Like, fuck Marcus Stroman. I got no time for him at all. But everybody knows that. But
what are you gonna do with him?
I'm gonna do nothing. His dad. I'm gonna do something. Took me a second to get there, but Marcus Stroman, get your whining bitch ass in the bathroom, motherfucker. I had no idea what you were getting to there. So it's funny because like we're talking about all these baseball things, and there's a lot of drama, and there's a lot of hate, and there's a lot of criticism, and there's a lot going on. And it's like when we're bouncing from thing to thing, it's like trying to keep track of what's going on. It seems like a confusing process.
Steve, you're not supposed to alley-oop yourself.
Wait, confusing process. Are you talking about buying tickets online to sports and concerts?
No, I'm saying that the idea of you setting up the ad read when that is my responsibility is, quite frankly, the most confusing process that I've had to deal with on episode 113 of the Section 10 podcast.
That's a valid point, kid. You got a really valid point there. It's almost as confusing a process as buying tickets online to a game or concert. But we have the SeatGeek app on our phone, and I just bought tickets to a Sox-Yankees game in late September. Everything about SeatGeek is designed... Everything about SeatGeek is designed to make life easier for sports and music fans. SeatGeek does all the price comparison for you by searching multiple ticket sites and ensuring that you get the best possible deal. SeatGeek does all the work, and you save time and money. And SeatGeek wants to help you get the most bang for your buck. That's why every ticket on SeatGeek is given a grade based on value. You'll immediately see any underpriced seats and be able to find the best deals that fit your budget, bitch. Best of all, our listeners get a $20 rebate off their first SeatGeek purchase. Run that back one time, DJ. Ficka one time. Best of all, our listeners get a $20 rebate off their first SeatGeek purchase. To get your $20 rebate on tickets, download the SeatGeek app. Go to the settings tab and click add a promo code. Enter promo code section 10. That's section 10. There's still people that ask us what the promo code is. It's section 10, kind of like the title of the show. And you get an instant $20 off your first ticket purchase. So download the SeatGeek app, enter promo code section 10 today. Big coupon, bitch. It is a valid point. I have a promise to you right now, Jared. It didn't feel right. Alley-ooping myself for an ad read is that's just a confusing process. I shouldn't have done it.
Confusing process.
And I shouldn't have done it. I regret it.
Did you listen to, did you get to the point on starting 9 where I dropped a confusing process?
I saw the tweets about it. I got about halfway through, walking to and from work today, but I saw the tweets about it and people were pretty excited.
Yeah, I had to pay tribute to Section 10. And I was talking about the Baltimore Orioles and how they're fucking like 6 games under 500. And they went out and traded for Jeremy Hellickson, who's a rental. Like, he's a free agent at the end of the year. So they, instead of selling off pieces like Britton or Machado, they went out and got a starter to help them in the second half, apparently, even though they're an under 500 baseball team. And I was like, well, honestly, Dan Duquette, that is quite the confusing process.
People are very excited about it. It's kind of like a little hidden treasure. They're like, ooh, I know exactly what he just did.
Yeah. Like, because if you're a Section 10 listener, you want to still feel like, obviously it's like, yeah, you're listening to Starting 9 because you're interested in Major League Baseball. You're a baseball fan. That's good. That's a good thing to be a Red Sox fan, but also be interested in the rest of the league. But if you're a loyal Section 10 listener, you don't want to feel like, oh, Jared's ours, but he's floating on. He's going to do other things in the world. No. I'm still here for all the Section 10 listeners. So when I'm here, it's almost like you're you're going to see me at a new job. Maybe you miss me a little bit, and I'm winking at you. Give me a little winksy. Like, I'm thinking of you guys. I may be over here doing this new thing, but I'm thinking of you.
Little winksy doos sending their way. Can we? Dooskies. So I think at this point it's become every show. Let's give it 1 minute. Your David Price, Dennis Eckersley update. This is 1 minute. Okay? I'm gonna start the timer, and we're only gonna talk about this for 1 minute.
Are you ready?
And go.
Okay. So I thought that it was awesome that Dennis Eckersley was the legend at Fenway Park for, what was that? Wednesday night?
Tuesday night.
Wednesday night.
1 minute.
Tuesday night. He was the legend at Fenway Park, got a tremendous ovation. David Price was nowhere to be found in the dugout because I'm assuming he got tipped off about that. I'm assuming that no one I'm assuming that someone's like, hey, by the way, Eckersley is going to be the legend in the box tonight. They usually do that in the 6th inning, so you might want to duck out so that they don't like try to get you side by side like camera.
He was for sure. He was for sure in the clubhouse, making sure that he wasn't, going to be out there during when it happened. That was really cool that it happened. Loved it. Eckersley also tonight, which when you're listening, this was Thursday night, had a little blurb to start the broadcast saying, let's move on. And I think that's exactly what we should do. We should move on.
He said that on the broadcast?
At the very beginning. We got 3 seconds left. Last thought?
Bye.
Okay, bye.
What did he say? I wanted to know what he said.
Eckersley versus Price update. 1 minute. He had a little blurb. I'll drop it right here. We'll drop Eckersley's blurb right here. He basically just said, Dave O'Brien was like, well, good to have you back in the booth, Dennis. How are things? Just kind of awkwardly tossed to him. And he was like, yeah, obviously it's been a tough process, but I think his exact words were like, it's been brutal, but the fans have been great. We're moving on. Got to move on. This team's trying to win games. Let's move on. And that was it.
But they didn't even mention David Price.
No, but it was the elephant in the room where it's like, it's been tough and things have been a little weird. So it's like blatantly talking about David Price without mentioning his name.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I mean, they should move the fuck on because we're obviously tired of talking about it. We have to set a 1 minute timer to just get the fuck over it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
So last week, the Down in the DM. No, that was earlier this week, right? Yeah,
earlier in the week.
The Down in the DM segment was one of the questions. Celebrity we would marry, and you chose an Instagram model.
I think one of the things we kind of transitioned off of one of our questions and just talked about favorite Instagram models. I think it was off of the celebrity we'd marry, and then Pete was like, "Oh, who are our favorite Instagram models?" Which is exactly what Pete would say. And
I didn't even answer that question because I don't know of any Instagram models besides Ante Ujenschleiden.
You mean Ante J. Untergan?
Yep.
But yeah, so Katia Elise Henry, I have had a huge crush on her for probably 5 years. Sup? I reached out to her on Twitter. Did not expect to get a response. I did not think anything would really come of it. Basically just said, on Section 10, we talked about our favorite Instagram models. So at Katia, if you're in NYC and want to get Froyo, sup. And she replied, not with just, she quote tweeted it, which is she wanted other people to see it.
She wanted everyone to see that. She wanted that little Stevie dick.
Just take the little part out. And yeah, she wanted everyone to see it. So she quote tweeted it, started with 2 laughing faces, which is sup. I was really excited myself. My first reaction was it was a fake account. I didn't think it was actually her. So when I saw the check mark, I was like, oh God, she's got 2 laughy faces. Steve, ... I'll def keep you in mind. Which I decoded that as let's have sex now. I think that's what that meant. I think it's let's have babies. Let's make sure that they're, the greatest kids in the world, and let's live a happy life for the rest of our lives. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So I'm going to marry Katia after we get Froyo. Froyo's on me, by the way. I'll get her Wicked Lodge. And yeah, I'm pumped, man. When she quote tweeted that, it made my week, probably made my month and summer. No, she did not. But there's no reason why she would follow me. It's all Red Sox stuff and all baseball stuff, and she's a.
She would follow you if she really wanted the hahij.
I mean, if she's in New York, I will make sure that we get Froyo. For the listeners of this show, for my own sake, I'm gonna make sure I get Froyo with Katia. She is so hot, man. So even her replying, people at work were like, "Did she actually send that to you? Did she really reply?" I was like, yep, Katia replied, and we are going to get some frozen Katia. And we're going to get some frozen yogurt, and who knows what happens after that. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey. As the sirens go off.
If you actually get Froyo with this girl, I'm going to show up with a fucking hose and just spray you like a fucking, just like a dirty pig.
I'm fine with anything.
Hose you down.
I am fine with anything happening if it involves getting Froyo with Katia. I'm going to let the sirens go. I'm on fire right now, so that's why the sirens are coming down. They're trying to cool me off a little bit.
That's another great thing about my place. No sirens. The windows go to a courtyard. I don't hear sirens. It's great.
Yeah. But Katia, sup?
Anyways,
this is the first step in a long relationship.
Just let me know. Let me know where the Froyo date is going down. I'm gonna show up with a fucking super soaker.
I didn't think you. Wait, that's a weird comment. What do you mean you're gonna hose me down? What the fuck are you talking about?
That was just when that I was just thinking of things that would absolutely ruin your date, like immediately.
Nah, I would turn it into something funny, and she'd be like, "Oh my god, that's so cute. I want to sleep with him."
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't actually think that would happen.
We're gonna get Froyo, and then we're gonna get married. So moving on, I wanted to hear more about your Little League story. This is another good part about you being in New York is that obviously content, but then there's going to be things that I'm going to need to follow up on here that the listeners. It's almost like a little little after show from Starting Nine. So you actually defriended one of your buddies in Little League because he dropped a pop-up?
No, defriended, like that makes it sound like social media. No, this was before social media. This is like I defriended him in real life.
Just completely wiped him off.
Basically what happened was, so to set the stage a little bit, this all came about because I was wearing a Jose Fernandez t-shirt, which I got shit for that too. Like, oh, you're already in New York and you're trying to be like a national guy, so you're wearing Molly. Like, it's Jose Fernandez. Like, I'm a Jose Fernandez fan. And again, I'm a baseball fan. I have an Oakland A's jersey. I have a Cal Ripken jersey that RDT likes to tweet all the time and make it act like I'm a fucking Orioles fan. No, I'm a fucking Cal Ripken Jr. fan. I got a Ricky Henderson jersey. I have a Roberto Clemente jersey. I have a Pedro Mets jersey. I have a Pujols Cardinals World Series jersey. I have a Josh Hamilton. I have like 2 Josh Hamilton Rangers jerseys.
Sounds like
I have a Vladimir Guerrero Expos jersey. Yeah, I got a lot of jerseys. So it all started because I was wearing the Marlins Jose Fernandez t-shirt, and then RDT tweeted the Orioles picture, which he does all the time, and then Fatface JJ tweeted the picture of me in the Yankees jersey, which is from when I played Little League. So when I was in Little League, I was on the Yankees, and back then this was around like 2001, 2002, and 2003 was the year that the Saugus Little League team went to the Little League World Series, and they finished 2nd in the country and 4th in the world. So needless to say, the competition when I played Little League was very, very stiff. It was very competitive. Lots of talented Little Leaguers in Saugus at this time. And the big rivalry was the Yankees, which I was on, and the Indians. And my last year of Little League, the Indians went to the City Series every single year. They were like the fucking Soviet hockey team.
Explain the City Series, because that wasn't overly clear to me.
So there's Saugus American and Saugus National. So we had National League teams, we had American League teams, and then instead of the World Series, they met in the City Series. So it was like, there's 2 leagues, and then like the 2 played for like the City Series.
Like a best of 3, or what was that like?
I think it was just 1 game.
Oh, okay. Kind of misleading with series.
Or it might have, no. I think it was best of 3. I think it was best of 3.
Okay.
Yeah, best of 3 in the City Series. So at that time, I mean, the Yankees were going to and winning the City Series every single year. The Mets were the best team on the national side. And this was like unfathomable that anyone could take it to the Indians. And we met them in what would be the equivalent of the American League Championship Series. And because it was Little League, we played them in the American League Championship, and the lights got cut out at 9 p.m. So we went into extra innings, and they had to cut the lights because it was like a town or like a league rule. We had to come back the next night and play them, like continue the game. And we got to like the 11th inning or like the 12th inning. And I remember there was a runner on second. I was standing at third base. Kid hits a fly ball to center field. My friend at the time was the center fielder. He dropped the fly ball. The run scored, and we lost. And like, I anticipate having to pick that game up again, like on a later date or like the next night. I anticipated playing that game, like picking it back up more than any Christmas ever as a child, like having the chance to go to the City Series and beat the Indians to get there. So when he dropped the fly ball, that was the last time that we like ever really spoke. I cut him out of my life. We were very close. Like we used to have sleepovers together. We used to hang out all the time. We used to go over to his house to play, and he dropped that fly ball, and we were never friends again. And it was like even in high school, it was weird because in high school it was just like we had just taken two different paths in life. But when I would see him in high school, I don't even think we said hi. We kind of just were like, you know what? Let's just skip saying hi.
You both knew. You're like, we're clearly past the point of repair, and it's not even worth wasting our time trying to fix it. I thought that story was crazy. I think KFC had the right reaction where he was a little shocked. I wasn't surprised at all. When I read the headline, Jared like defriends kid after drops pop-up. Like that fits. That fits for you. So that wasn't that weird at all. But it's, dude, like Little League it was just the best time. That was the best time to play sports. Like my favorite moments are from Little League because it was everything. I remember the standings were like in the town newspaper every Thursday, and they would have updates of like the top games, and you're trying to make the All-Star team. Like everything was so great, man. That was perfect. And I think KFC had mentioned it, but it's really like downhill from there. Like after that, you get into drinking and, you know, you chase girls and we're still a fan of the Red Sox. Like we're really in the fan mode, but you can't duplicate baseball, and that drives me nuts. And when people say, "Oh, play softball," like no, you can't duplicate baseball. All these other sports, basketball, even street hockey, you can play. You can duplicate like all these other professional sports, but you can't for baseball, and that's just a sad part of life.
And that's like where you meet friends too. Like in Saugus, there were 5 different elementary schools. So, you know, obviously grades 1 through 5, you're kind of stuck with the same kids for 5 years. But when you play Little League, like that's how you met the kids from elementary schools outside of the one that you went to. And that's how I met a lot of my friends that ended up being friends for a lot longer than Little League. So, yeah, that was a good time. But I will never forgive him for dropping that fly ball. And like I said, this is the 10-year reunion for high school is coming up, and I'm debating whether or not I'm going to go. But if I do go and he's there, I don't know if I'd talk to him. I don't know. Like, I think at this point, I might have to address it. I might have to go up to him and be like, listen, apologize.
Listen, buddy, apologize right now. This is your last chance to apologize for what you did to me.
What do you what you did to the Yankee organization? And do you think if I went up to him and said that he would even know what I was talking about?
He should, because you haven't really said a word to him since. If you guys were that close, I'm trying to think of my really close friends at that point. If I hadn't said a word to them since, they'd be like, dude, why have you not talked to me since that Little League game where I missed the pop-up?
Yeah, I'm going to check my Facebook right now because I know that we're not even friends on Facebook. Like, I'm friends with people from high school that I fucking hate, and we are not friends on Facebook.
We should set up this like meetup at Fenway. Like Jared meets his most hated friend.
I don't even hate him. I'm just like, I just can't forgive him for what he did. Well, I don't hate him. It's just, there's just no coming back from that. You ruined what would have been one of the greatest moments of my entire life, beating the Indians to go to the City Series.
And people have been talking about it ever since. I still hear about it. That Yankees-Indians game is still talked about to this day in New York and across the country.
You say that jokingly, but it really is still talked about to this day.
Well, there's clearly not a lot going on in Saugus.
Well, I mean, some of the kids that played,
they were in the Little League World Series team?
Yes, and some of them are fucking like in the majors.
That was a great team. Little League World Series is one of my favorite parts of the summer growing up, just because like you looked up to those kids as like gods.
Well, let me see where he's at. Dario Pisano got drafted by the Mariners. I don't know where he's at. I think he's in AAA. Let me see. Dario Pisano. He is in AA this year. and he's hitting 300 with an 824 OPS with 7 homers and 31 RBIs in 57 games.
So I guess kids. So I guess forever.
Yeah. He was one of the kids that I played Little League with. But yeah, that was a good time. And remember that game that Saugus, I mean, you probably don't. Remember the game that Saugus, they got nominated for like an ESPY for Game of the Year. And it was like up against like the Patriots winning the Super Bowl or something like that.
Yeah, no, I remember that run specifically because like for every kid in Massachusetts, that became your team. We all attached to that team as like, this is for us. Like we're all kind of pounding the chest like, Saugus! Because like you knew that they were representing not just New England, but specifically like us, like Massachusetts. For you, obviously, it was more of an us.
I kind of want to get. Do you want to get one of the kids on?
Yes. Oh, right are you?
I'm gonna call him right now.
Oh, right now? Absolutely, dude. This is a Section 10 exclusive with a Saugus Little League.
Yeah. Which one do you want?
I want the best player on there. If we could get stories about that Little League World Series,
all right, let's do it.
It's such a magical time, man. This is great.
It's gonna be so confused.
At 10 o'clock on a Thursday.
Yeah. Yo, Kaz.
What's up, man?
What are you doing right now?
Just chilling at my spot. What's up?
Nice. Do you want to be on my podcast?
Yeah. What do you guys? Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, sweet. We were just talking about Little League stories, and then we somehow got into Saugus Little League, and we were talking about the run that you guys were on, and we're talking about Dario getting drafted by the Mariners, and we were who is that like walk off? You scored the winning run, right, for that walk off against like Virginia or some shit.
Wait, to win the U.S. semifinal?
Yeah.
No, that was Dario on that like controversial play at first base.
Yeah, because Dave Ferreira was out, right?
Yeah, he was out by probably half a step.
So like when you guys won that game, that was to go to the final.
Yeah, that was to go to the U.S. final, and fucking Gertruck was the one that fucking blew that game.
Yeah,
fucking sick.
Yeah, Randall Grichuk is an outfielder for the Cardinals right now, and he got the blown save in that game. And did he cry?
Oh, of course he did.
So one of the best things about you, Kaz, is that you were obviously on this team. How many home runs did you hit in the entire tournament? Don't act like you have to think about it. Like you probably have like your fucking statistics tattooed on your ankle right now.
Yeah, it was 7.
He knew.
Yeah, you knew. And then the other thing is you spend the rest of your days on the internet doing what?
I mean, it depends. Typically, I just fucking troll KFC.
Asking about who?
Well, I troll KFC about his mom, and then my new one is I just fucking chirp at Lou, calling him a rat fuck all the time.
Lou Maloney?
No, fucking Lou, the dude at Barstool.
Oh, Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis, that rat.
What the fuck? Why do you chirp salespeople? They're innocent bystanders.
Yeah, I know, I guess. I don't know. He seems like an overpromise, under-deliver type guy, so I just chirp at him all the time.
Who do you like at Barstool?
Oh, man. It's a tough question. Honestly, I love everyone. It's a great cast over there. Fat Glenn is great.
Fat Glenn? Does anyone call him that?
Fat Glenn, I like that.
I mean, I do all the
time. Steve has a question for you, but you can't hear him. I'll relay it to you. What is the question, Steve?
My question, I know one of the biggest things that they do in the Little League World Series is when you announce your name, you also say your favorite player. So back then, who did he announce as his favorite player?
I know the answer to this question. Okay, so he asked you during the Little League World Series, they always ask for your favorite player. And this is going to be a disappointing answer, but go ahead, Kaz.
Oh my God, it's Alex Rodriguez.
Yep, he fucking said A-Rod. But back, I mean, he was with the Rangers then. He was with the Rangers.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So it's okay. He was on the Rangers. He was pro steroids. He was the best player in the game by far.
Yeah, he won the MVP that year.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best player. He still is the best player. He's not even playing.
Yeah, he won the MVP that year for a last place team. So that's how you know that he was the real deal. I think I want to say like Andre Dawson in 1987. I want to say won the MVP for the Cubs on a last place team. A-Rod in 03 for the Rangers, and then Mike Trout last year with the Angels, last place team.
I still get harassed about that. A-Rod being my favorite player. Like, I'm 26 years old and still at work. Like, my company will throw in like the clip and like they like cut down the little like version of me saying my favorite player, and it like constantly gets put in the company chat. It's fucking terrible.
What was your favorite moment? Not from the Little League World Series, because we're talking right now about how the Indians, the Cleveland Indians, with Charlie Bilton and coaching that team, that they were like the powerhouse team in Saugus. What memories do you have of playing Little League in Saugus before the World Series?
Ooh. Man, I mean, what were yours? I mean, you tell me. I'm trying to think back. I mean, literally, my brain's fogged. All I can think about is the World Series, because that's basically my claim to fame. I peaked as a 12-year-old. So. I mean, what were your fun days as a 10 to 12-year-old playing Little League baseball?
Well, I mean, being on the Yankees, we were pretty good. We were the second best team to the Indians. Playing with Yano. Yano's dad just fucking ripping cigars on the bench with like a bunch of 11-year-old kids. I don't even know. Playing against fucking Full Moon Muldoon when he was like 6'8", 250 pounds, and we were all just like 4'9", 100 pounds. Playing against Scuzz, that junk baller. Oh, yeah. Like, it's weird because Scuzz is like engaged now, and we're all just like a bunch of losers.
Oh yeah, big time losers. I'm just, yeah, I mean, yes, we all are. That's sad.
That's sad.
I don't know. I guess just all those times down in.
Oh wait, hold on. I have a question for you. So after you guys lost, you guys got a parade in Saugus when you came back. How many girls did you hook up with when you came back?
Oh man, I mean, I'm a modest guy, but 15 plus.
15 plus. Okay, man.
Used to love just kissing, making out, you know.
Yeah.
We were just kissing, man.
Grab a little titty.
A lot of kissing.
Yeah, and then we got put on the Cheerios box, so that opened up a whole other can of worms. And, yeah, and then I peaked when I was 12. What can I say?
And you also got nominated for an ESPY, which you lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, fucking the Patriots beat us. Tom Brady accepted the award. But then he like came by and like let us all touch the award, and at the time, like Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, like it just wasn't a thing. So like none of us really like took pictures, and it was his second year. So like there's really like no footage of it, but yeah, that was an incredible time. Yeah.
All right. Well, Kaz, thank you for your impromptu appearance on the Section 10 podcast. I'll definitely text you later and let you know when this is going to be up.
Yeah, make sure you text me. And also, now that you're at the headquarters in New York, you got to please stay on top of KFC. He still hasn't responded to me.
Has he ever responded to you ever?
No, he's never. And I know he sees them. I'm surprised I'm not blocked.
He might have muted you if he's not responding at all, and you've been tweeting him about his mom for like literally 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, it's been 3 years in running. So yeah, just relay the message for me if you can.
I will. I'll definitely do that for you.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right, later. Joe Kazabuski, everyone.
When you said you were going to do that, I honestly thought we were just going to set it up for another show. I didn't think it was going to happen live. That went way better than I thought it was going to go. Because, it's 10 o'clock on a Thursday night, and this kid could have been anywhere, and perfectly he is doing nothing. So that worked out really well for the podcast. And, yeah, of course he must have got ass. Like, how old would he have been at that point? 12, 13? So getting ass is a little different when you're 12 and 13.
I think they were going into 8th grade.
Okay, so you're probably a lot of smooches. Probably a lot of smooching, a lot of making out. Maybe
I was
grabbing
touching
a boob
titties
here
in
and
8th
there.
grade.
Yeah, grabbing a boob here and there, but that's about it. I don't think you're doing much more at 13.
Yeah. But that was quite the time in Saugus Little League history. So we got to talk to one of the Saugus Little Leaguers. He knew. I fucking knew he knew how many home runs.
Right when you started talking, it's like, shut the fuck up. You know exactly how many home runs you hit. Come on.
Like, obviously, if that's your only claim to fame, it's like you got to rattle those things off all the time. Like, I'm surprised he doesn't have like a tattoo of like a 7 on his wrist.
He's gonna have his favorite movie is probably like 7. Like, he's gonna have Alzheimer's when he's like 70. He's gonna be like, I had 7 home runs in the Little League World Series. He'll remember that the rest of his existence. So don't try to act like you don't know the stats there, Cass. But no, that was great, man. That was better than I could have expected. We got one more segment. We got to close it out.
Okay.
We got one more mini segment here. Trying to do more of this. Ask you guys questions. Get your feedback. Normally you kill it, as you did with this one. The question was, who do you think is the most underrated player in Red Sox history? And the results came in as I kind of would have expected. The most we got was Bill Miller. Could have kind of seen that one coming. Yep. I mean, batting title.
Won a batting title in the 9th hole. Hit 326. Manny hit 325 that year.
Yeah, Manny almost caught him at the end, but I'm glad Bill Miller got it because Manny has all the accolades. He's a huge part of that World Series team. Shout out Bill Miller. Mark Bellhorn was also on there. I used him for the photo, so that was kind of encouraging for people to...
Wasn't he like one of the most hated?
He was, but I think, like we said, Mark Bellhorn was loved and hated. So I think that's why he's on the loved and the hated list. So that's not that weird. Derek Lowe. I think a lot of people forget Derek Lowe won the clinchers of every series in 2004, and no one talks about it.
Yeah. I think he was a 20-game winner through a no-hitter, and I think he had a 40-save season, too.
He made the All-Star team as a closer.
He was basically John Smoltz.
He was basically the greatest pitcher of all time. John Valentin is on here. He's kind of lost in the shuffle in Red Sox history. I love John Valentin. He was one of my favorite players growing up. It was like him and Nomar.
He moved over for Nomar.
I know. John Valentin's right up there on my list. We got Mike Lowell on here, another good one, World Series MVP.
How is he underrated?
I don't think he's underrated. A couple people said Mike Lowell. I think he's rated perfectly here.
Yeah.
I don't think he's underrated. Jason Bay was another one. Adrian Beltre. I agree with these guys. Tim Wakefield, I disagree with that. He's not underrated. He's rated perfectly, if maybe even a little overrated. And then Troy O'Leary. Yeah. I like Troy O'Leary a lot.
Troy O'Leary,
way back,
Grand Slam, Troy O'Leary, and the Red Sox take the lead.
I don't think in the 90s, I was never more excited than that play. That was like, that's gone, the ball's gone, Troy O'Leary, and like the call matched it perfectly.
Was that Ted intentionally
Saran
walked?
Who was that? Who had that
call?
That
was Jerry Trupiano.
Oh, okay, I thought it was Ted Sarandis for a little bit.
No, that was Troop.
That was Troop.
Yeah, they intentionally walked Nomar to get to Troy O'Leary, and he fucking went top tits on him for a grand slam.
He just showed him his penis and went over the fucking wall. Yeah, that was impressive. We also had Pool Space on here, but he hasn't been called up yet, so I don't think he can be underrated if you haven't even played in the bigs. But no, shout out to you guys again. Always kill it with the answers, the DMs, all that good stuff, baby girl.
Yeah.
That'll do. Let's wrap.
That'll do. So we want to say thanks to Joe Kazabuski, Saugus Little League World Series.
These Saugus names are great. Joe Kazabuski. You got Full Moon Muldoon.
Mike
you got
Scuzzarella. Mike Scuzzarella, Full Moon Muldoon, Tyler Calla, Dave Ferreira, Anthony DeCiccio, Ryan Bateman.
These are all perfect Saugus names.
Giano Petrozelli. Who else is on that team? I know I'm missing someone. Craig Cole.
Okay, that doesn't really fit as much. I can see this whole team just lined up at the bar, like, oh, those were the days, boys.
Oh, they still do. They'll never let you forget it that they were that team. But yeah, so shout out to Joe Kaz for coming on with us today, the impromptu interview. We had a guest this week. That's good.
We should. We're gonna get.
I want to say thanks.
This real quick. We're gonna get guests. I know there haven't been one about since Uke maybe.
Yeah. Bear with us because
if you've been under a rock, this kid Jared has been moving his life from Boston to New York, so it's been a very busy time. But we're still getting you the 2 shows a week. We're gonna have guests coming up. Don't worry about it, baby girl.
So, yeah, it's my bad, but at the same time, I'm shocked that we even been able to do 2 shows a week when it's just been fucking crazy. But we do it for you, baby. Every little thing I do it for you and your big ass titties. I want to say thanks to our producer, Steve Peralt. You can check him out on Twitter at Steve_Peralt. You can follow us on Twitter at Section 10 Pod. You can also follow the show on Instagram, where all of our promo videos go. They also go on Twitter, but you know, a lot of shit going down on the gram as well at Section 10 Podcast. You can follow Pete at not plugging his fucking Twitter handle until he actually does, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 consecutive shows without missing one. That'd be nice. The archive for the Section 10 podcast can be found at section10podcast.com. All 113 episodes on section10podcast.com. Subscribe on iTunes and rate the show. Helps us out a lot. Climb up them rankings. Speaking of rankings, starting 9, numero uno. What up, what up? But help get fucking Section 10 up there too. And like the way that the rankings work, like it's very douchey to brag about having a #1 podcast on the day that it drops, because like the newer you are, the easier it is to climb up the rankings. So Section 10's been out for 3 years. Very hard to climb up the rankings. So that's where you help us by subscribing on iTunes, leaving a rating, downloading, listening, sharing on Twitter, sharing on Facebook, sharing on MySpace, sharing on Snapchat, sharing on Instagram, sharing on Friendster. I don't know what else you would share on. Not sure. You can check out our sponsor, the SeatGeek. You download the SeatGeek app. You use the promo code Section 10, and you get $20 off your first purchase immediately. There's no more rebate. Forget about the rebate. You don't got to wait. You put in the promo code. You buy the tickets. If it's your first purchase with the SeatGeek app, they deduct $20 off your purchase. No percentage. So it's not like, oh, they took fucking $6.74 off my order. Nope. $20. $20. Who's on the $20 bill? Andrew Jackson?
Good enough for me.
Why don't you fucking save a Jackson? Another fucking out on the base paths by the Boston Red Sox. Unbelievable, this fucking team. They love getting thrown out on the base paths. Anyways, it's been real. Another reminder to subscribe on iTunes to Starting 9. It's Barstool's new baseball podcast. Don't worry, Section 10's not going anywhere. You're still going to get 2 episodes a week plus Starting 9. So it's, you fucking win. You fucking win. You get all the coverage that you fucking need, kid. What do I want to cover you? What do I want to cover?
Did I just hear a siren with you?
Yeah, maybe.
Nice.
I kind of hear it like way off in the distance.
Nice. A first on Section 10. A siren with someone that's not me. That's a big deal. Now you're in the big titty. That is the official introduction to the big titty sirens. Oh, man. I am so excited to see the comments of like, where's the podcast? Where's the show? All right.
Where is it?
Where is it? I need it.
Hold on. What was I going to say to you? Do you use Seamless?
Yeah, frequently.
So what do you do? Like you put it in, like they bring it right to your apartment?
It's very, very useful. You order it on your app, and they deliver it. It's seamless.
It's seamless.
I had no idea what Seamless was, and the first day my roommates were like, "You don't know Seamless? Let me show you Seamless." Like it is one of the most helpful things in New York. It will also contribute to Fat Jared.
Probably not.
What was the Section 10 stuff you were going to mention?